And we're live for day one of the Launch Your Brand Challenge. Thank you so much for joining us. Man, I'm excited about this week and excited about everything that we're going to accomplish together. So I want to say hi. I want to introduce myself. If we do not know each other yet, my name's Carrie. I'm the founder of Shirt School, and this is always one of the best weeks of my year and of my quarter and all that kind of stuff. So I'm so excited to be with you guys today. I want to say hi to some people. I'm looking forward so much to getting to know you guys more than anything. I love building relationships during this challenge and just getting to know people, making new friends. So I hope you're here for that as well. So I want to say hi to some people. I see Fort Worth on. I see Massachusetts, Milwaukee. If I haven't mentioned yet, I'm watching from beautiful, wonderful Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, right outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Milwaukee, Nashville, D's in the house from Nashville, Indiana, Salt Lake City. I just went to Salt Lake City earlier this year. First time ever, loved it. Houston. What's up from Iowa? Cleveland, Mo City, Missouri, maybe? What's up? What's up? What's up from New York? Man, it's good to see you guys. Richmond, Virginia. Checking in from Phoenix, Arizona. Ready to get started. I am ready. Connecticut's in the house. Let's go. Florida. What is up, Florida? Another Salt Lake City. All right, all right. Man, there is a lot of comments. Thank you so much, guys. I see all of you guys. Reno, Atlanta. So many people watching from all around the world. Texas in the house. What's up, Carrie? What's up? Good to see you guys. Jamal's on. I know I'm missing a ton of people, but I do really, really want you guys to know that I'm so excited you're here, and I'm so excited to be here with you. And so I want to start diving in today. Today's going to be really good. We're going to lay some foundations today. We're going to have a lot of fun today and hopefully learn some stuff today. So I want to go ahead and just start diving in. Let me know in the comments if you're ready. Just give me a ready in the comments. Just drop ready in the comments if you're ready to get going for day one. Maryland's in the house. Oh my gosh. Somebody's just south of me. From the Philippines. What's up? Missouri City, Texas, San Francisco. Oh my gosh. People from everywhere. All right. All right. Well, okay. There's some readies going. We're popping. We're popping. Here we go. All right. We're ready to go. Let's roll into our presentation for today. We have a lot to get through. So I want to be conscious of your time. I want to make sure that we get going and we don't waste any time here. I know you guys are busy, busy people. And so let's get going. So welcome to the Launch Your Brand Challenge. This is truly probably the best thing that I get to do. It is so much fun. It's just so helpful. And I'm really honored to get to do this. And I'm glad that we started doing this last year, June of 2020. We did our first one during the height of the pandemic, just wanting to help more people, reach more people. And this is truly like one of the best things we do, probably the best thing that we do here at Shirt School. And so I absolutely love getting to do it. And like I said, it's really for me about building those relationships with you guys, getting to know you guys, and then just helping some people. So real quick, the session schedule for this week, Monday through Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We will be here at this time, 11 a.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. That's when we'll be live all week for 5 sessions. I believe we'll also have a Saturday kind of a Q&A bonus session, so that's on there as well. But we'll be here at the same time each day, so make sure you set an alarm, mark your calendar, make sure you're watching your email, because we'll be notifying you. Today we have some giveaways. We're starting off the week strong, and today we are giving away an Amazon Fire Stick 4K and a custom t-shirt design. Let me real quick explain these. First of all, the Amazon Fire Stick, you guys probably know what this is, but I've got like 3 of these in my house. Got one in the theater room, got one in the main room. We got a bunch of these, and I love these Fire Sticks. Like they're awesome. They just work really, really well. Better than a lot of the other ones. The custom t-shirt design, what we're going to do is our designer here at Shirt School is going to design you a t-shirt if you win this design that you can use in your store. Okay, when you're up and selling, you can use that design in your store. So it's just a chance for you to get a custom professional design done that you can sell and take all the profits from. We don't want any of that. We're going to give it to you. So that's pretty cool to win that. You get to work with our designer. Just some quick details about the giveaways. Now I'm going to go through these again at the end, but I wanted to make sure and hit them at the front just so everybody kind of knows how these work. Number one, you must be present on the live stream to win. So if you're watching on the replay, thank you so much for watching. I know a lot of you guys are working during this time and all that kind of stuff, but you do have to be present on the live stream to win the giveaways, because we are going to pick some winners live at the end. Number two, it's going to be at the end of the training, so you got to stay through to the end to get access to those giveaways. Please enter only one time. Every time we do the giveaways, we have people entering like 5, 10 times. Please only enter once. We just ask that, one entry per person. And then number 4, if you are a VIP with us, first of all, thank you so much for being a VIP. VIP access is really, really awesome. And we're actually going to have our first of 5 VIP Q&A coaching sessions coming up at 2 p.m. Central in the other VIP group. So if you're a VIP with us, thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you at 2 p.m. to get to know you guys a little bit better. But if you are a VIP, you get double entries as a VIP into all the giveaways this week. We got AirPods, we got Amazon gift cards, $100, $250. We got shirt school course and coaching packages we're giving away. And so if you're a VIP, you get double entries into those giveaways. So that means please do not enter the giveaway at the end. My team in the other room here at the office, they're actually going to drop your email address into the giveaway form twice for you. So if you're a VIP, do not enter the giveaways. We've got you covered on that. So that's pretty much it. Day 1, how to overcome your fears and take the first steps to own a profitable online apparel business. There is one more thing I didn't mention that I just want to mention real quick. I don't think we're gonna have any issues in this group because you guys are I can already tell this is an amazing group just by engaging with you guys in the Facebook group. But we just ask that you don't spam the Facebook group. You don't drop links to your products unless we say that you can on the training. Don't self-promote yourself. Please don't message people from the group. We will not tolerate any racism, sexism, any discrimination, anything like that. This is a challenge for everyone. No matter what your beliefs are, your political views, or where you're located, or anything like that, your ethnicity, your race, none of that. This is for everybody. We are about love and acceptance here at Shirt School. So just wanted to say that real quick, that I want to make sure that, just don't do any of those things, right? If you do any of those things, if we see anything that's even any like a borderline of being racial or discriminating or anything, we'll just kick you out of the group. So we have no tolerance for that, 0 tolerance policy for any of that here. So just wanted to say that up front. Back to the training. Day 1, how to overcome your fears and take the first steps to own a profitable online apparel business. Your first challenge, I want to kick it off just strong. Will you be here at the end of the week? Okay, you guys that are watching live, I want to challenge you to show up live every day. You have to be here all week. So will you be here at the end of the week? Challenge yourself right now. You're not going to get lazy. You're not going to get complacent. You're not going to think you know it all. You're just going to show up each day and keep learning and keep taking action. And if you're watching on replay, hey, I understand you're out there working your job, working your butt off. Make some time in the evening to catch these replays each day and make sure you stay up to date, because every single time what we see obviously some people will drop off during the week and then they won't keep up on the replays. So then at the end of the week, they're like, I need more time, and there's no more time left, right? And the challenge is kind of over. So anyways, be here at the end of the week. I want to challenge you with that to start this off. This is my wonderful family. My wife, Angela, we've been married for 9 years. My daughter, Sage, who is 3. My son, Calvin, is on a field trip right now with his school, which is pretty cool. They're going to the pumpkin patch. Calvin is 5, about to be 6 here in a couple months. This is why I do everything that I do. Everything that I do for these guys, for my church, and for you guys. Those are my 3 whys, why I do everything that I do. I want to reach you guys, help more people, take care of my family, give them everything that they want. And I love giving back and being a part of my church. So a lot of what we do goes back towards that. So that's kind of my why and why I do everything that I do, my wonderful family. I want to just set some foundations here at the beginning. Okay, so I want to say a few things real quick before I talk about this quote. This challenge this week, there's going to be a lot of meat and potatoes and great information. I want you to know that this is not like some fluffy week where I'm just going to give you a bunch of nonsense and just try to sell you something. That is not what this is about. You guys paid money to be here, and I'm going to honor that, and I'm going to give you some of my best teaching and best training this week that is genuinely going to help you start, launch, and start to make sales in your t-shirt or apparel business. So I want you to know that. But I do want to set some foundation up here at the front with some mindset stuff to get you right in the right frame of mind to really crush it this week. Okay? They say that, mindset is 95% of success. And I agree with that. I agree that mindset is very important. That doesn't mean that you're not going to get incredible information, tactical and strategical information this week. But I do want to get you in that right frame of mind to succeed this week. So I'm going to start off by just kind of showing you what's possible and encouraging you a little bit that you can do this and you can have success with your business this week and you can make a lot of progress this week. So the kind of our motto here, kind of our battle cry here at Shirt School, it's this quote: imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time. I've got it on my little light back here, take imperfect action. We say it all the time. You'll be hearing it all week. But guys, this week, as you're going through the challenges, man, continue to take action. If you're like me, you probably want everything to be perfect. But what that perfection does is it prevents us from moving forward. It prevents us from getting into momentum. It prevents us from accomplishing what we want to accomplish because we keep delaying the action because we want it to be perfect. So I'm going to challenge you this week to take imperfect action every single day. Get those challenges done. You don't need to spend hours on each of these challenges. You need to get it done quickly. You need to continue moving, continue walking, continue running toward your goal. Getting started is more important than becoming an expert, okay? Getting started is more important than becoming an expert. I want you guys to know that, again, I'm going to give you so much information, so much teaching, so much strategical and tactical training this week. But if I can just get your butt in motion, taking action, that is way more valuable than the information I'm going to give you. I'm being completely honest with you. If I can just get some of you guys to start going, you're going to start to get results, you're going to start to get sales, and you're going to start to get into a state of momentum. And that information will help along the way, but it's way more important for you just to get going than for you to become an expert before you take action. You got to get out there and go. Launch before you're ready. So getting started is way more important than becoming an expert at this stuff. Here's my first month in t-shirts. My first month in t-shirts is actually returns of $93.88. This was my first month. Talk about taking imperfect action, right? I threw some t-shirts up on a Shopify website that I found on like AliExpress from China. I started running these ads. I had no idea what I was doing. And lo and behold, it took like 8 weeks for the t-shirts to get to the people in America from China. And then when they got there, they were like 2 sizes too small because I didn't know that I was on Asia sizes and not American sizes. So my first few sales were actually returned. I was feeling really discouraged, right? I didn't want to keep going. But I continued to take that imperfect action, and that led me to some of these kind of results. $6,353 in sales in one day. That's just one day, right? $56,000, $26,000, $76,000 over a couple months. These are some of my personal results, and I've even had the opportunity to make t-shirts and give t-shirts to some of my heroes like Russell Westbrook. Now, this is actually Ray Westbrook, who the arrow is pointing to, because he's actually wearing one of the shirts that we made for Russell and his kind of his pack and his family, his wife and his brother right here. This is a picture of Russ wearing the t-shirt that we made for him, which is just still blows my mind that we were able to do stuff like this. Russ has got like bajillions of followers. He's playing for the Lakers now. He used to play for the Oklahoma City Thunder. During that time is when I was able to make him some t-shirts. And it's incredible to be able to do this kind of stuff. This is one of our students, Sean, sent me some comments. He did $1,000 from just one design. Then he did $3,000. Then over on the right, you see that he sent me kind of a video of just the sale just kind of rolling up. My friend Nathan started a t-shirt company with our course and our training during the pandemic. Almost $1.5 million in sales in 9 months. This screenshot was from the beginning of 2021. 9 months, $1.4 million in sales after going through our training, taking our course. You see that right there. My friend Robert, 100K in 2 weeks. The top screenshot you see, 200 sales, t-shirt sales. So it hasn't just worked for me. It's worked for hundreds and thousands of people that we've been able to help. And that's what I want you to know, that these are just regular people like you that are having results with a t-shirt apparel business. And this is what's possible, right? This is a screenshot over here on the left from D, who did $10,000 after going through one of these challenges. I mean, $10,000 can change your life for a lot of people, right? So this is what's possible if you stay focused this week, if you continue to take that imperfect action. And if all of these people can do it, why not you? Why can't you be next, just like these folks, having success with your new business? And you can. You absolutely can. If you're here today, you've already proven that you can take action. You guys put your money on the line to learn this stuff. A lot of you guys, around 100 of you guys, have already become a VIP. You've paid a lot of money to be here. And so you've already proven that you're going to put your money where your mouth is and you're going to continue to take action. And I'm just going to ask you to continue doing that this week. And this is the last thing before we dive into more of the informational type stuff. This is Napoleon Hill, kind of the godfather of self-help, business. Just amazing. If you haven't read Think and Grow Rich or Outwitting the Devil or any of his works, they're amazing. But he said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So I want you to understand that before you achieve the goal that you have for this week, you have to know what it is and you have to believe that you can do it. So let's do this exercise really quickly. Number one, I want you to visualize your goal right now. Write it down or even share it if you want to share it in the comments. What do you want to accomplish this week and what do you want to accomplish with your new business? Visualize that goal. You might say, I want to make an extra $5,000 a month. I want to make an extra $1,000 a month. I want to make this a full-time thing and make $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 per month. Number two, do you believe that you can get there? And Napoleon Hill says that you need to say it out loud and you need to write it down each day. You write down, I will have $100,000 by this date. And that trains your mind to believe that you can accomplish it, right? So visualize your goal. What do you want to accomplish? Do you believe that you can get there? Say it out loud. Train your mind. I know it might feel silly, but you got to train your mind to believe it. And lastly, if you know what your goal is and you believe that you can get there, then you have everything you need to see it actually happen. You can achieve it if you know the goal and you believe that you can get there, okay? Why do we want to sell t-shirts and apparel? Why do we want to get into this business when there are so many opportunities that we could be in? Well, the t-shirt industry is worth $181 billion. It's expected to grow to over $206 billion by 2025, and that number is actually wrong. That number has been accelerated by the pandemic and everything that's been going on, more demand, more sales, and so that number is actually moving forward even sooner. The average American owns over 27 t-shirts. I probably own like 50 or 60 or more. Like I own a crap ton of t-shirts. I love t-shirts. But the average American owns 27 t-shirts. That's, if you put those all together, that's enough to circle the earth 40 times. You wrap your mind around that. Over 1.4 billion t-shirts are sold annually just in the US. T-shirts have been selling for over 120 years. Since 1889 is where most people can track it back to. They've survived multiple pandemics, a bunch of recessions. I mean, you name it, they've been through it, right? World wars. T-shirts have stood the test of time, and they've been selling for over 120 years, and they will continue to keep selling. This is something you can always make money from. You can always continue to make sales from. At least once per week, almost 90% of Americans put on a t-shirt. 90% put on at least once a week. And Americans buy, on average, one new clothing item every single week. I mean, that's crazy, right? The potential here is unbelievable. On top of that, it's one of the easiest businesses to start. I'm going to teach you that this week, why it's so easy to start. It is adaptable to any market. I mean, put that in perspective, right? A lot of people say, oh, t-shirts, it's saturated or whatever, but you can put any design on a t-shirt and all of a sudden you're serving a specific market, right? If I put a doggy on my t-shirt, I can go serve dog lovers. If I put a basketball on my t-shirt, I can go serve basketball lovers. And so it's adaptable to any market. There is no upfront inventory cost and little time commitment. A lot of you guys, if you're like me, you've been around a little while. I'm getting up there in age, 32. I know some of you guys are gonna be like, that's young. Some of you guys be like, that's old. I'm 32 though, but I remember when there was no internet. I remember when you had to order the t-shirts and you had to get them printed yourself or whatever. You don't have to do that anymore. You don't need a huge upfront investment to start a t-shirt or apparel business, and you don't have the big time commitment because you don't have to run the screen printing presses and all that stuff and ship items yourself. And I'm going to explain all that to you this week. So I'm just going to ask that you just take it one step at a time, but no upfront inventory cost, little time commitment. So let's jump into number one. This is the first thing that you're going to do. This week, we're going to be working together, right? We're all kind of working together to build our business. So the very first step we need to do is we need to choose your niche. We need to choose a profitable niche, okay? You may have heard this saying. It's super popular. A lot of people say it. The riches are in the niches. Let me know in the comments if you've heard that. I'm going to pull up my comments. Have you heard the riches are in the niches? Right? I've heard that a million times. Yeah, you guys have heard it as well. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about if the riches are really in the niches. And this is kind of taking it a step further. This is a great quote that I love. When you try to be everything to everyone, you end up being nothing to no one. Okay? That's why the riches are in the niches, because if you try to just be all things to everyone, if you guys try to be the next Walmart, that's going to be hard, man. You're going to compete with Walmart, compete with Target, compete with these massive companies. We don't want to be everything to everyone. Okay? So that's why the riches are in the niches. And I want to teach you a little bit about the niches, kind of how this all came to be. Because back, 100 plus years ago, there were no niches. There were no niches. There are only these three core markets. Number one is wealth. Number two is health. Number three is relationships. Wealth, health, and relationships. Those are the three core markets. And I heard somebody describe this as the three core desires of every human. I want you to let that sink in real quick. These are the three core desires of every human. We want to be wealthy, we want to be healthy, and we want to have relationships. We want to have a wife or a husband or whatever you want to have. We want to have friends, relationships with our friends. We want to have relationships with our family. We want to have relationships with our pets, right? We want to have these relationships, these meaningful relationships. We want to have health, so we want to be healthy. We want to be fit. We want to have energy so we can live a long time, and we want to be wealthy. We want to have the money to be able to pay our bills, to be able to buy the things that we want, to go on the trips that we want, to travel, whatever, buy our dream homes, all that kind of stuff. So these are the three core desires of every human. And back 100 plus years ago, there were only a few types of businesses, right? There were just like banks. And maybe gyms. And I don't even know when gyms became a thing, but they're like gyms and doctors, right, for health, and banks. And, like there was only a few types of businesses. So these are the three core markets. But what happened is over time, those three core markets of wealth, health, and relationships, they got really crowded, right? And there's only so many banks that you can have. There's only so many gyms that you can have. There's only so many doctors that you can have, right? So what happened is people started creating sub-markets, right? And so businesses started springing up in these sub-markets of wealth, health, and relationships. So what they were doing, I want you to get this real quick, is they were starting to create these niches, right? Because you couldn't just, how many of you guys know if you want to go today and you want to like start a new bank, that's pretty freaking hard, right? Just going straight into wealth. If you want to start, an insurance company, that's pretty hard, right? If you want to start a grocery store in the health niche, that's pretty hard, right? Those are some core types of businesses. But when we start niching down, that's where these sub-markets start coming from. So all of a sudden in the wealth niche, you have entrepreneurship, and you have people like me who are teaching people how to start businesses, and you have real estate and all these different things. And then over in the relationship niche, you might have dating companies that teach you how to get it, or give you, connect you with your future, girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, whatever, all that kind of stuff, parenting advice. There's all these sub-markets that kind of branch out. There's way more than is here, but these are just a few examples of how kind of everything branches out from these three core markets. And what happens is when we go a step further past the sub-markets, we really get to those deeper niches, okay? And that's kind of how we get to today. So I want you to understand that over time, these niches and these markets become crowded, and that's why we continue to go deeper into the niches, okay? The riches, I'm going to adapt this statement just a little bit. The riches are in the deep niches. We don't just want to go to the niches. We want to go deeper. Go deeper than just the niche, okay? That is where we can make money quickly. Okay, this is going to blow your mind, guys. I want to tell you this quick. I want to talk to you about this real quick because this blew my mind. I actually threw this into my presentation last second because I was like, so good. It's so good. But I want to take you back to 1994. You guys maybe know this kind of picture here. This is like the first Amazon offices. And I'm going to use this to kind of illustrate the niche idea, because this really blows my mind, and it's really It's really impactful for me. You guys have maybe seen this. You know, Amazon's like one of the biggest companies in the world, top 3, I think, biggest companies in the world. This is Jeff Bezos. You may have thoughts about Jeff Bezos. We're not here to debate whether he's a good guy, bad guy. I just want to use this to illustrate this. But Amazon started in 1994 as a website that sold books. Okay? When you really start to think about that, the year is 1994. Jeff Bezos starts this new online website company that only sells books. Okay? Let me put that in perspective for you. Google, 1998, 4 years later. Okay? I'm going to bring the comments back up so you guys can kind of interact with this. Okay, check this out. eBay, 1995. eBay didn't come around until a year after Amazon. Barnes & Noble, direct competitor, right? Direct competitor to Amazon in the online book niche. They didn't go online. They didn't bring their business online till 1997. 3 years after Amazon was already online dominating the book market. In fact, Barnes & Noble, I'm sure that they actually went online because Amazon was crushing it online with books. So Barnes & Noble had to go on. What about Walmart? Okay, get ready for this. Get ready for this. Walmart came online. You guys ready? This is 2007. 13 years after Amazon was online selling books, Walmart came on. Okay, what point am I trying to make here? Because I thought that the years were really interesting to know how far ahead of their time Amazon was. But here's what I want you to think about. Amazon in 1994. Okay, Jeff Bezos could have just started the next Walmart. He could have started the next Barnes & Noble. He could have went and got a building and put a bunch of books on the shelves and sold in retail just like Barnes & Noble. But what he did, he said, no, you know what? I'm going to niche down a little bit further. I'm going to do this thing called the internet. Okay? And then when he chose the internet, he could have got on the internet and said, I'm going to be the next Walmart for the internet. Walmart didn't come around on the internet until 2007. So he could have gone online and he could have said, well, I'm just going to create the next Walmart, but on the internet. That would have been cool, right? Okay? But that's not what he did. He said, no, I'm going to go on the internet. And then what I'm going to go do on the internet is I'm going to niche down even further than just being the next Walmart of the internet. I'm only going to sell books. Think about how niche down that was in 1994. If you were alive in 1994, I was alive. I was only 5 though. If you were alive in 1994 and you heard about an internet company that was selling books, most people at that time, I would assume most adults were like, you're out of your mind, bro. What are you doing? You're making a book company on the internet? Think about how niche-y that was, how niche down that was. No one had ever done it. And it wasn't until 3 years later, after the pressure from Amazon, that Barnes & Noble had to figure out the internet thing. Let's take this a step further, though. When Amazon was founded on July 5th, 1994, as a website that only sold books, founder Jeff Bezos had a vision for the company's explosive growth and e-commerce domination. He knew from the very beginning that he wanted Amazon to be an everything store. The last point I want to make with this Amazon story is I just want you to understand that a lot of you guys, myself included, we have huge dreams. We have huge dreams. I want to impact thousands of people around the world, helping people, myself, create online businesses, create online income, create online freedom. But sometimes you got to start in the deep niches. Sometimes in a world where you want to be the next Walmart, you got to start by selling books on this thing called the internet. Okay? You got to start by niching down. Jeff Bezos had a big dream like you guys. A lot of you guys, maybe you want to be the next Supreme, the next Gucci, whatever you want to be with your clothing brand. Maybe that's in your heart. I know that that's in your heart for a lot of people. But sometimes you have to start in the niches, in the trenches. You have to start small and you can branch out later. Just because you start right now in a niche doesn't mean you can't be everything later, but you've got to build towards that, right? And this was 30-something years ago, I guess 20-something years ago. It took a long time for Amazon to become the everything store that they were. And so Jeff Bezos made that decision. I'm going to start niche down and not try to be the next Walmart right away, but I'll get there. And I'm going to be bigger than Walmart. Pretty crazy story. So let's talk about how you get into these deep niches. How do you guys pick a deep niche? Okay, I've been talking a lot about it. Let's put some practicality to it. How do you actually do this and pick your niche? Okay, you start with that core market. Now, what I want you to understand about the core markets as well is, yeah, there are some niches that it might be a little fuzzy. Like, does that land under a core market? Does that land under health, wealth, or relationships? You might be like, I don't know if where my niche falls in that. Okay. Some niches don't seem like they really fall into those markets, but I want you to understand that when we appeal to the core desires of every human, that is the way that we make money much more easily and much more quickly. Let that sink in for a second, okay? If we want to go into a market that does not fall under relationships, health, and wealth, it's going to be a little bit harder to make the money that we want and make the sales that we want because we're not directly appealing to the core desires of every human. Hopefully you're catching that. Just makes it a lot easier, right? So we start with our core market. Let's say, as an example, you start with the core market of relationships. Then we go down to the sub-market of parents. So parents fall within that relationships core market. Then we go down to the niche of just moms. We could start an apparel brand that was just for moms and dads, but if we niche down a little bit further, we can just make an apparel brand for moms, okay? But that's not where it starts. How do we get into those deep niches? Here's how we get into the deep niches. We could just serve moms with boys. How many of you guys know, if maybe some of you guys are out there are a mom of boys, right? I'm a dad of a boy. I have a wife that's a mom of a boy. That's a whole nother culture. That's a whole nother like thing, as opposed to being a girl mom or a girl dad or whatever you may be. We have a friend that has 3 boys and they're all under like 5 years old. It's wild. It's a wild life, right? So that's a whole niche of its own of millions and millions of people that you can serve, but it's super deep. And there's not very many businesses serving just moms of boys, right? So you differentiate yourself. You get rid of a lot of that competition because you're only serving moms of boys. Oh my gosh. And we take it a step further. We go even deeper. You want to differentiate yourself from your competition. You want to be unique. Go this deep. Just serve moms of young boys. I just gave the example, right? We have a friend that has just a bunch of young boys, right? So you could go into that niche and all of a sudden, not only have you eliminated all the dads, not only have you eliminated all the parents, not only have you eliminated moms with boys over 12 years old, you're just serving like young boys, right? Moms of young boys. So this is how we niche down. Let's do a couple more quick examples. Let's start with the core market of health. And let's go down to the sub-market of food. Food falls under that core desire, core market of health, right? So we're in food. We can just make a bunch of food shirts, but let's go deeper into the niche of eating healthy. So now we're just making shirts and apparel around healthy eating. But let's go even deeper. Let's go down just to the keto diet, okay? So we say, all right, I'm going to create an entire apparel brand with funny sayings about the keto diet. But if that's not deep enough, remember, the deeper we go, the easier it's going to be to make sales and to market to our ideal customer. We can go even deeper and we can just serve dads on keto. I'm a dad. I did some keto this year. I'm not currently doing keto. I should get back on keto. I mean, it was awesome, but it was hard. But there's a lot of dads on keto is my point, right? So you could make apparel just for dads on keto. And that is a very unique business that you're not going to have a lot of competition in. You might see some random t-shirts or some random apparel out there, but you're really not going to have much, if any, competition when you go that deep. We got one more here. I'll do it a little quicker. Core market of relationships. So I'm doing one from each of the 3. We do it under the sub-market of pets. Remember we talked about you want relationships with your family, with your spouse, with your pets, that kind of thing. So we're in the sub-market of pets. We go down to the niche of just dogs. So just dog lovers. We go even deeper and we can serve just poodle lovers, just people who have poodles. We're going deep, right? Well, we go even deeper. We can just do miniature poodles, right? Now we eliminated some of the other poodles and we just do miniature poodles, right? You can do this with any other kind of dog or animal, right? You got like people out there who have like pet monkeys and stuff. You could probably do an apparel brand around that. Be pretty awesome. Anyways, you get the point. So this is how we go into the deep niches. The easiest way to make money and to make money quickly is to find a niche, go deep within that niche, and then just differentiate yourself just a little bit. Just be a little bit different. Okay, guys, I want you to understand that we don't need to appeal to 50% of the world's population to make money. If you guys appeal to 100,000 people in the entire world, you can have a multi-million-dollar business with that. I want you to understand that. You don't need to be this massive juggernaut to make money, to start to create freedom, to really impact people. You don't need this massive thing that appeals to everyone. You don't need to be Walmart. You don't need to be Amazon. You can just carve off a little tiny sliver of a market and you can just absolutely crush it. That's what I've done multiple times, so many times, and what our students are doing. This is the formula for how to do it. I'm giving you the keys. All right, so here's some ways that you can differentiate yourself when you're doing this and you're picking your niche. Okay, how can I be different? Here are some things to think about when we're going into those deep niches. We're trying to find that deep niche. Number one, you can combine two niches together. This is an absolutely great way to differentiate yourself, to find your niche, is take two niches, combine them together, and make a new niche. Okay, if you want to serve Christians and you want to serve gamers, combine them together and you got Christian gamers. Whoa, right? Combining two niches together creates this new business idea that is different, that is new, unique. It's a very easy way to do it. Love combining niches together. You can narrow by location, right? You don't have to serve everybody in the United States or everybody in Canada or everybody in your country or the entire world. You can just serve a small city, a small state, right? You can narrow by location. You can narrow by your ideal customer. If you're like, man, I can't make this more specific, well, you can just be this kind of apparel for doctors, this kind of apparel for teachers, this kind of apparel for, name something, an occupation, that kind of thing. Narrow by product selection. This is another way to do it. You can be the go-to person for just hats in your niche. You can be the go-to person for custom jewelry in your niche. Name it, aprons. You can just create an entire kitchen apron store with miniature poodle lovers. It's like you can narrow by product selection, right? And there's power in being the expert in a certain type of product. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in here in just a second. But these are all great ways that you can differentiate yourself in your niche, how you can be unique, and how you can stand out from the competition. Okay? I want to take you really quickly back to 1986. 1986. Who knows what this is? Somebody let me know in the comments. I'm going to take a drink of water. Somebody let me know what you're seeing here on the screen. What are we seeing here? Let me know in the comments. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm just going to take a quick drink of water. Sorry for the awkward silence. What are we seeing here on the screen? This is 3 years before I was born. That makes me feel young, that this was 3 years before I was born. All right, walk this way, rock and roll and rap. Ooh, somebody's been through the challenge before, you suckers. Walk this way video, walk this way, Run DMC. Yeah, you guys are nailing it. Okay, the soundtrack to my life. Aerosmith, Steven Tyler. Yeah, what we've got here is we've got Run DMC and Aerosmith. Okay, we got a hip hop rap group along with a rock group in Aerosmith. And they put out this song in 1986 called Walk This Way. Right? Yeah. 1986, Walk This Way, Aerosmith and Run DMC. All right, let's talk about this really quickly because this is really, really impactful. What you had here is you had rock, Aerosmith, plus rap or hip hop in Run DMC. And when this song came out, okay, 1986, this song comes out, and some of the rock fans that were fans of Aerosmith, they went, I don't like this rap thing. This hip hop thing, like, this isn't for me. I'm into the old Aerosmith, Dream On, the original version of Walk This Way. I'm into all that stuff. I'm not into this new, like, beats and, all this kind of stuff. So some of the rock fans says, I don't like this. And some of the hip hop and rap fans that were into Run DMC were like, I'm not into this rock thing. Guitars, drums. I'm not into all that. I'm into the beats. I'm into the rhymes. Like, I'm not into that stuff. So that's what happened. Some of these people were like, nope, I'm out. But a huge number of people from both groups of fans said, man, I love this new style. This is legit. The song created an entire new genre. And here's what's crazy is it charted higher than the original. The original came out in the 70s. It was just Aerosmith. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that, right? Aerosmith puts out Walk This Way. There's no Run DMC. Run DMC comes along in the mid 80s and they're like, hey, Steven Tyler and Joe Perry and Aerosmith, hey, can we do this new version where we put a beat to it and we rap over it, but we still keep the guitars and we still keep you in it, blah, blah, blah. They come out with this new version and it charts higher than the original. That blows my mind. That blows my mind because what I want to illustrate here is I want to illustrate how, guys, like, when you niche down, when you create a new niche, or when you just go in those deep niches, guess what? You can be better than the old niche. You can be better than the zoomed out version of that niche, right? When you go into the dog niche, if you go deeper, you can be better than somebody in the dog niche. That's what I want to illustrate with this, is because that's what happens when you differentiate yourself, when you stand out, when you combine niches together, when you do those things, you start to create this new community, this new niche. And it can be better than the old niche, right? And so it's just really, really powerful illustration of kind of what I'm teaching here. But I want you to know that you don't have to be rap rock. You don't have to be this new thing. You guys, a lot of you guys, if you're familiar with this kind of genre, you know, Aerosmith and Run DMC created the Linkin Parks, the Rage Against the Machines that came a few years later in the 90s, right? These rock rap groups, and then became huge in the late 90s, early 2000s, this rock rap thing. Well, Aerosmith and Run DMC pioneered that. But you don't have to be the next rap rock. That's not what I'm telling you. When you go deep into a huge market, you create your own market where you have no competitors, okay? That's what I'm saying here. And so understand that when we go into these huge markets, we go into them, again, I'll use the example of dogs. When we go into the dog market, that is a market where we know that apparel is selling like hotcakes. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of t-shirts are being sold every day to dog lovers, okay? So we know that that works. We know that the dog market works. But when we niche down, we differentiate ourselves, we create our own little market, we take off a little sliver of it, but guess what? We know it's going to work because we're in the dog market. We already know that dog stuff sells, so we know it's going to work, and that's how I want you to do this as we're picking our niche, okay? And speaking to, we talked earlier about selling a specific type of product, okay? Like if you're only the hat place, or you're only the jewelry place, or the apron place, or whatever. I want to illustrate that a little bit better. Think about this. If you have an ear infection, would you rather go to the general practitioner, the general doctor, or do you want to go to an ear doctor? You probably want to go to an ear doctor if you have an ear infection. Normally, you don't go to just your regular old doctor, right? If you want to do CrossFit, you don't go to a regular gym normally to do that. You actually join a CrossFit program, okay? If you want specialty coffee, can you find it at Walmart? Most likely, you're going to go to a specialty coffee type place. You might go to your local coffee shop, get those beans, that kind of, high-end coffee. You're going to go to the specialty place. You're going to go to the expert store. And so what I want to illustrate with that, before we go into our next exercise, we're kind of getting towards the end of this training. We're moving our way towards the end. We have some good stuff left, though, so stay tuned. And we have giveaways, obviously. But what I want to illustrate is when you just sell, let's say backpacks. You do custom printed backpacks, okay? When you just sell backpacks, you can become the expert for backpacks, okay? So when somebody says, I want this really unique backpack, but I can't find it anywhere, you can be that place, right? You can be the specialty coffee. You can be the the CrossFit program of your niche, right? People are going to come to you because they know you're the hat place. So that's kind of the power of just doing a certain type of apparel, whether that be t-shirts, hoodies. You can be the hoodie place for your niche, right? So there's some power in that of being specialized. There's going to be a segment of people that say, I want to go to the specialized place to get that thing because I know it's going to be the best, right? All right, so let's do a niche exercise. I've actually got my iPad pulled out here. Okay, so I'm going to make this even simpler for you guys. You guys that are still trying to pick your niche, okay? You're trying to pick your niche. I want to make this even simpler for you. I've taught you kind of all of the, stuff behind how this works, but now we're going to talk about maybe if my pencil will work here. Maybe not. What's up? What's up, pencil? It's not working. Of course. All right, let's see if I can do it with my finger. No? I apologize. Let me get that off screen. Give me just 1 second. Let's see if I can get it going here. I think it might be because I turned off Bluetooth. My fault. Apologize, guys. All right, we should be good now. If I can get it to come back now. Boom. All right. So we're going to talk about the 3 P's of choosing a niche. Boom. All right, 3 P's of choosing a niche. This is going to make it even simpler for you guys to really get going. So I'm going to draw a circle here. Whoop. First circle. And the first P of choosing a niche is going to be passion. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is I want you to pull out your phone or pull out a piece of paper, pull out your iPad, whatever it is, and I want you to just pull up a notepad or something that you can write on, and I want you to put like 1, 2, 3. Okay, you just put 1, 2, 3. Okay, and what I want you to do is I want you to write down 3 things that you are passionate about. Okay, now a lot of people are like, they will teach you that you don't need to be passionate about something that you're going into business in, okay? Hey, it's not about, don't pick something that you're passionate about. I believe that you do need to have some passion for that thing, because if you don't, it's going to be really hard to get out of bed in the morning. I don't care how much money you're making. It's going to be really hard to get out of bed in the morning when you're not passionate about the thing that you are doing, okay? So I want you to write down 3 things that you are passionate about, and I'm actually going to do that right here. So number 1, I'm going to put guitar because I play guitar, okay? Number 1, guitar. 2, I'm going to put down food. Let's just say food. I love food. Okay, number 3, we'll put down basketball. All right, so I didn't overthink it. I just put down 3 things that I'm passionate about. These 3 things that I love. Okay, I love the NBA. I love cooking. I actually can make this one cooking, which might make it a little bit more impactful here. So let's make this cooking. I'm not like a master chef, but I do love cooking and grilling. Maybe I should go niche down to grilling, right? So I want you to write down three things that you are passionate about. Okay, so that's P number 1. I'm going to draw a second circle, and the second P is proficient. All right, so the second P of choosing a niche is proficiency, okay? You need to pick something that you are proficient in, that you have a little bit of expertise or knowledge in, that you're involved in the community, okay? So what I mean by that is, let's go down to my 3. I've got guitar, cooking, and basketball. Okay, let's talk about basketball real quick. I love basketball. I'm passionate about it, but am I proficient in it? I never played basketball. Don't play basketball. I watch the Thunder, but I don't necessarily keep up with it. I don't know a ton about it, but I enjoy it. I like talking about it with the buddies. I'm probably not passionate enough about it, though, I'm probably not proficient enough to really pick that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark that one out. Okay, what about cooking? Well, I like to cook. I like to grill. I know quite a bit about grilling, I would say. So let's keep that one in there. Guitar, I've been playing guitar for 15, 20 years of my life. So yeah, I know a lot about guitar. I'm pretty proficient in that. I can tell you a lot about guitar stuff, different kinds of guitars, all that kind of stuff. So I've marked out basketball, and I want you to mark out the things that you are not necessarily proficient in. So you got 3 things you're passionate about, and you're marking out the thing or things that you are not proficient in. There's one more P that we need to cover, and that P is profitable. All right, so the last P of choosing a niche is profitability. Is the niche that you want to go into, is it profitable? Can you actually make money in it? Because there are some niches that you can't make money in, or that it's really hard to make money in. Let me give you an example of one. I want to make sure you guys don't choose this unless you're in for a hard road. An example of a niche that would not be profitable is if you're serving young kids. Why? Young kids don't have money. They don't have jobs. They don't have disposable income. They don't have any income, right? So I've seen a lot of people, they create these. Now, there's a difference between creating a kid brand and creating a brand that like kids would buy, okay? So we don't want to create a brand that kids would buy. We can create a brand that appeals to parents for their kids, but that would be an example of a market that you don't want to go into if you're just serving like young kids and you're trying to get them to buy stuff. They don't have any money, right? So you gotta consider that. Is it profitable? Now, the easiest way to find out if something is profitable, just go out there and do some research on the internet, because as we talked about in this training, if there are other brands selling in a similar niche, or if they're selling in that zoomed out niche or the sub market or the core, the core market, if they're in one of those zoomed out niches, then it's probably profitable. If there's other companies already selling similar things, it's probably profitable, right? So that's the easiest way to qualify it, is to go out and search. Can you find any other cooking or grilling t-shirts? Can you find any other guitar t-shirts or apparel? If you can, it's probably profitable. So if I look at my list and I say, okay, I'm passionate about guitar, I'm passionate about cooking, I'm proficient about guitar, I'm proficient in cooking, which one of these is also profitable? Well, I think they're both profitable. I think they both could be profitable. So I'm actually going to take the one that I am more proficient in, which is going to be guitar. I know more about guitar. So it checks off all three of those P's. Am I passionate about it? Would I want to get out of the bed in the morning to sell guitar related t-shirt and apparel? Heck yeah. I'd be hanging out with guitar players every day in my business. So I love that. Am I proficient in it? Do I have at least a little bit of expertise about the guitar, about that niche in the community? Yes. And is it profitable? Well, are there other brands selling guitar-related merchandise? Heck yeah, right? There's a huge market there. So guitar checks off all those boxes, and that's something that would be great for me. So I want you to do the same thing for yourself. Write down 3 things and start checking off those P's. Now, guys, the only thing I want to say, last thing, is this proficient one up here. Understand that you don't need to be like some master expert in this, okay? You just need to be involved enough in that niche or in that community and know enough about it to be able to hold your own. Everybody has hobbies. You might love sewing, you might love drawing, there's all kinds of hobbies that you might have. And so as long as you just know a little bit about it, that's good enough, okay? So you want to pick something that hits all 3 of these P's. Hopefully that was helpful, that part. Let's move back into our presentation, and I want you to answer these questions, okay? Answer these questions. Number 1, what do you want to sell? Now, when I say what do you want to sell, here's what I mean by that. What kind of products, okay? And what niche do you want to go into, okay? What kind of products do you want to sell, and what niche do you want to go into? So you might say, I want to sell t-shirts, and I want to sell in the jet ski niche, people that snowboard. So I'm going to do t-shirts in the snowboarding niche, okay? There you go. What do you want to sell, right? Or I'm going to sell hats to, I'm going to sell hats in the, why am I struggling? In the, back from earlier, in the miniature poodle niche. People that love poodles, I'm going to sell them hats, right? What do you want to sell? The second question is, who do you want to sell it to? It is very, very specific, it's very important that you know who you want to sell to. Where are they located? What is their occupation? What is their race or ethnicity? What is their age group? Okay, you need to think about those things. Who do you want to sell to? Because that's going to mold the kind of people that you're showing on your website. The kind of marketing that you're doing is going to be dependent upon who you want to sell to. So I really want you to get clarity on these 2 questions. What do you want to sell? What kind of products and what niche? Who do you want to sell it to? Who is the customer that you want to sell it to? What is their age? Where are they located? What is their gender? What is their ethnicity or background? What are their beliefs, right? You need to think about those things. Some people even go as far as to name them. They're like, it's Jane from Tampa, Florida. There might be a Jane from Tampa, Florida on here. I don't know. But I'm going to serve Jane from Tampa, Florida. She's 18 to 25, and her occupation is she's a grocery store clerk, whatever that is. But you really need to get clarity on these 2 things. Clarity precedes success. It's much easier to have success if you are clear on your goals, you're clear on who you're serving, you're clear on what products you want to sell. Get clarity today before we continue moving into building out our store, all the things that are going to take a lot of our time and energy. We don't want to do any of those things until we have clarity. So today, before the night is over, you got to get clarity on your niche and who you want to serve. Okay, number 2 today. That's not it for today. Number 2, I want you to name your business. I need to move. I need to keep moving here. Don't overthink it, okay? Don't overthink it when you're picking a name for your business. Pick a name that tells people what your business is and what you sell right away. So I prefer names, and I recommend that you create a name or that you pick a name that communicates what you sell and what your business is about right away just by seeing the name. Here's some tips on how to pick a name. Number one, check the domain name availability. Go out to like GoDaddy or Google Domains or Namecheap. Check if the domain is available, okay? So put that in and check the .com. You don't absolutely need a .com if you can't get it, but you want to check, I prefer a .com if you can get it, and check if that name is available. Consider adding words into your name like tees, shirts, wear, apparel, clothing, or gear. There might be some other ones that I missed there, but consider adding one of these words into the name. I'll give you a few examples here in a second. You can Google things like free business name generator. There's going to be like a bajillion that come up that will just pop out names for you. It makes it a lot easier just to kind of jog your brain and come up with a name. And consider adding your niche into the name or the title of your ideal customer. So add some information about your niche or the ideal customer into the name. What do I mean by that? And lastly, consider adding your location. So what do I mean by that? Florida Dad Gear. These are some examples. Okay, these are not real businesses. They might be real businesses, but I don't think they're. Florida Dad Gear. Okay, that's location plus our customer, which is dads, plus our product. You don't want this to be too complex. Don't overthink it. Please don't overthink this. Keep it simple. But if you can add a few things into the name like this, like the location, the customer, the product, what that does is it communicates to your customer quicker what you sell, what you're all about. They'll know right away. And so that's important, right? If you were to start the next Google, now nothing wrong with being the next Google, obviously, but it's going to be a little bit harder to communicate what Google is. People are going to have to experience that search engine to be able to really understand what it does. It's a little harder to communicate. So if you can put it in the title, somebody sees an ad or whatever it is and they see that name, they're going to know instantly what you are selling and what your business is all about. Here's another example, Mustang Apparel Company. Okay, it's niche plus product. So we've got our niche, which is for Mustangs, and we've got our product, which is apparel. Okay, what about Pug Love Tees? We've got our niche and we've got our product, right? We're only selling t-shirts and we're selling in the pug niche, right? So this makes it a little bit simpler to consider some of these things. Still in my prime apparel. So we've got our customer. Our customer is going to be like older people that feel like they're still in their prime, right? I love that one. I love that example. And then we've got apparel to let people know that we're selling some type of apparel. So you can be creative with this, just something that communicates your business pretty easy. What about Windy City Cat Club? We've got location, Windy City, Chicago, right? And we know it's about cats, and we put club on there. It doesn't really mean much, but Windy City Cat Club, pretty cool name. Great example here, okay? Lastly, number 3, I want you to get your logo today. I want you to get your logo today. And you don't have to spend money on a logo if you don't want to, but you can spend a little bit. Okay, you can go to Placeit if you've ever heard of Placeit or you'd like to try out Placeit. We have an affiliate link for that. If you guys want to use our link, you're welcome to. You absolutely don't have to, but we do get a little bit of a kickback if you use our link, shirtschool.com/Placeit. It's like this tool does a lot more. So we'll talk about Placeit more this week. Placeit does a lot more, but one of the things you can do on Placeit is you can get a really good logo made really, really easily. It will pop out logos for you. There's like thousands of logos on there, in addition to a lot of other things. Again, we'll talk about that more this week. Next up, you can use like something called like the Oberlo Logo Maker. Just Google this. Just Google Oberlo Logo Maker. You can get a completely free logo from Oberlo, which is really cool. Canva.com, another free place to get a logo. You can go over to Canva. They'll create a logo for you. Super simple. Here's another affiliate link, just so you guys are aware. This is a link that we made. So this is Fiverr. Now, Fiverr is actually where you can hire somebody for like $5, $10, maybe $15. You can hire somebody to create a custom logo for you. Now, again, we've created a link here, and what this link does is it actually, this will actually show you t-shirt designers. This is something we'll talk about later in the week, but this is an affiliate link. So if you go to that link and you start searching Fiverr, that'll give us a little bit of a kickback to our company. Just want you to let you know that up front. But Fiverr is a great place to get your logo done if you're wanting something a little bit more custom, okay? A little bit more, you have an idea maybe for a logo and you want a designer to do that custom. Here are some tips. Let me give you some tips around your logo. Thought I had that in my presentation. Some tips around the logo though. Don't spend more than like $10 or $15. Please. Your logo is not that important, okay? Your logo is really not that important. You just want something that is simple, clean, professional. You don't want it to be too complicated. You don't want a bunch of fonts in your logo. Just keep it very simple and clean, okay? So that's my big tip for you. You really don't need this complex logo that you spend hundreds of dollars on. It's not going to make a difference in your sales. Sorry to break that to you. Just go get a free or very inexpensive logo. If you Google like free logo generator, you'll find a bunch of logo generators. There are a bunch out here. These are just a few that I really like that you can use, a few different options, okay? Take that imperfect action. I want you, as you're working through the challenges this week, I want you to look at the task in front of you. So right now that might be naming your business, right? You're coming up with these names, you're trying to figure it out. If you find yourself frustrated, if you find yourself like, man, I've got these ideas for names and I just can't make a decision, okay? I want you to look at the current task and ask yourself, do the consequences of this not being perfect warrant my time and stress? Whew, take a deep breath. I'm preaching to myself right now because I do this so often. Look at the current task in front of you. I got to pick a name. Ask myself, do the consequences of this not being perfect warrant my time and stress that I am stressing out about this? Because 99.999% of the time, the answer is no. You need to just make a decision and move on. Even if it's not perfect, you can change it later. You can update it later, okay? You're picking a logo. You got 25 logos in front of you from Canva, and you're like, oh my gosh, I like a lot of these, but I just can't make a decision. This is not worth my stress. I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to take the imperfect action. I'm going to continue moving, okay? So your challenges for today. Let's wrap a bow on the challenges for today. Number one, you need to choose your niche. You need to define what you want to sell, what niche you want to sell in, and what product you want to sell. And you need to define the who. Who are you going to sell it to? Very, very important questions you need to answer. Number two, name your business. Come up with a name, a simple name that communicates what your niche is and who it's for, okay? And lastly, get a logo. Please don't spend more than $10 or $15 on a logo. It's not worth it unless you're just mad loaded and you just want to drop hundreds of dollars on a logo, feel free. But we want to put that money into something else that is much more impactful, like marketing and sales, which we will talk about later this week. So number three, you need to get your logo, okay? Go live or post in the group. Hey, you guys are welcome to start up a live stream in the group from your phone. Just hit go live in the Launch Your Brand Challenge Facebook group and say, hey, my name's Carrie. I'm starting Florida Dad Tees, and my business is Florida Dad Tees. I sell t-shirts for dads in Florida, okay? So go through this little formula here. And so I either want you to go live or post a video, or you don't have to do that. I know some of you guys are like, I don't want to be on camera. I totally get that. Just post it in the group. Just write it out, okay? Maybe post a picture of your logo when you get it and say, my business is blank. I sell blank plus blank to blank, okay? So I want you to do that. That's your challenge for today. Go through those things and post it in the group. Here's some no-nos, okay? Some customer no-nos. When you're trying to define your who, remember, we don't want to be everything to everyone because then we end up being nothing to no one, okay? So here are some no-nos. Saying anyone and everyone. I sell blank, 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 blank to anyone and everyone. Let's not do that, okay? Let's be specific about who we are selling to, okay? Do not use broad people groups, okay? Christians, dog lovers, men, women. We got to think about age. We got to think about location. We got to think about occupation, right? Think about get as niche down as you can with that who, with that person. So don't use these really, really broad things, okay? Here are some examples of some just a couple from past challenges that have been really good. Sugar Skull Pets, okay? I sell Day of the Dead stylized pets to people who have had their pets pass on. Okay, this is a really good one, right? It's so niche down. Day of the Dead stylized pet designs for people who have had a pet pass away. There's millions of people who have had a dog or a cat pass away, and these designs are to commemorate that. So I love that one. Texas Paw Love. Texas dog lovers, man. I love it. I love it. So easy, right? All right. Before we jump into our giveaways today, we have one more thing to do. I just want to give you guys an opportunity. One thing I didn't mention, we will have Q&A after this. So I'm going to stay on for at least about 15 minutes after we do the giveaways. And I will take some questions. So you guys hold your questions. I should have mentioned that earlier, but hold your questions and we will get to questions here in just a few minutes. Before we jump into giveaways, just want to give you a quick opportunity. If you would still like to join VIP and you're like, I have not done it, and you want to join as a VIP member, you get 5 live Q&A sessions with me, long extended Q&A, private Q&A with a smaller group over in the VIP group. We have a private VIP group for our VIPs, and I will do 5 live Q&As in there this week. So starting at 2 p.m. Central, which is in 2 hours from now, is our first live Q&A session of 5. And so if you want access to that, you can still become a challenge VIP in the next 2 hours to get access to that. You also get lifetime access to the challenge replay videos. Okay, so these videos of these trainings, they're going to expire Saturday night. If you're a VIP, you get access forever to watch those. You get daily action guide PDFs. So we give you a little PDF each day with all the main points and the links that you need. You get those as a VIP, get access to the private group, and then you also get double entries into all the giveaways. Now, today's giveaways, we've already locked in our VIPs for today's giveaways. But if you join as a VIP, you can get double entries into the giveaways for the rest of this week. So you still got 4 more days, and the giveaways are only going to ramp up. So if you would still like to become a VIP, jump over to carrieegler.com/LYBVIP. You can still do that. VIP access closes tomorrow night. So this is we're getting down to your last opportunity here to be a VIP. Just want to give you an opportunity to do that, okay? We'll drop that link in the comments if you guys want to go over there and become a VIP. I would just wait until after this training, and then we'll see you at 2 p.m. for our first private Q&A session with just the VIPs. All right, let's talk about the giveaways. So what I want you to do at this time is I want you to, you're going to have to leave this stream, or you're going to have to pull up another tab, or you're going to have to pull up something else. I want you to go to shirtschool.com/giveaway, and you're just going to enter your first and last name into the form there. I'm going to put up a timer. You have 2 minutes to enter the giveaway as of right now. So you're going to have to leave, go enter the giveaway. Please enter only once. And please, if you're a VIP, we already have you entered in double time. So I'm just going to get a hold of my team here, get my phone pulled up to make sure that my team knows what is going on. I'm pulling up the text thread. So you guys now can enter the giveaway. Okay, now we have to, I want to explain this real quick. We're just kind of killing time here while we wait for you guys to enter. We have to have you enter the giveaway because we have a lot of people register for the challenge, but not everybody can make it on the live stream. So we want to make sure we have to have you go to this website just so you can get entered here for the giveaways, okay? So you're going to have to leave this stream, go over to shirtschool.com/giveaway. Again, pull up another tab on your phone, grab your iPad or your tablet or get your laptop out and go and enter that. A lot of people already saying done. Shirtschool.com/giveaway. Get about 58 seconds. What we're going to do at that point is we're going to close the giveaway form. We're not going to take any new entries. I'm going to pop those into, if you're a VIP, I see some people commenting. If you're a VIP, you are good. Don't enter. We're going to enter you in twice, and I'll show you that here in just a second. We're going to pick 2 winners live right here on the stream for the 2 giveaways we have today, which are the Amazon Fire Stick 4K and also the custom t-shirt design from our designer. So that's what we are giving away today, which I'm very excited about. So shirtschool.com/giveaway. Now, also, here's just another tip. If for any reason that's not pulling up for you, make sure it's all lowercase. I need to actually probably remove that uppercase. Make sure it's all lowercase. Don't put it in the capital S. It may not work that way. You might need to open it into an incognito tab, okay? Yeah, I see a couple people commenting. Let me know what you thought about the training today as we're kind of wrapping up the giveaway portion here. Tell me what you thought about the training. Somebody said, I can't see the name, I apologize, but somebody said, thank you, Carrie, this was great. I believe I found an awesome niche and hope to explore it thoroughly. I love hearing the light bulbs. I love seeing you guys' posts in the group. Give you guys just a few more seconds here. Valuable info, great session and advice. That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. All right. So the giveaways are over, and I am just checking my phone because we are about to enter those giveaways into the form. So it takes just a minute here, probably a couple minutes here to for my team to pop those into the form and everything for me to get those entered. So if you can give us just a minute here, we will finish that up. If you guys want to start dropping, actually don't drop any questions yet because because we'll be picking a winner here in just a second, I want to make sure that you're here. So I'm just going to read a few of these as we are finishing up. Carly says, I think I have a name, niche, and a logo idea. I love that. It's so great. Just what I need. I'm grateful. Training was cool, but I got my niche and name already. Need your tutelage on marketing. We'll be talking about marketing later this week. Excellent info. That is so good to hear. Great info and encouragement. Two pages of notes on day one. Oh, come on. I love that. Guys, as I mentioned, like, it's my goal to really make this really like actionable training. This is not fluff. Like, I don't want this to be fluff. That is not my goal here. I want you guys to really, really get good knowledge that you can put into practice. Great job. Love that you added new info since the last workshop. Yes, there was some new stuff in there. Always trying to refine it. Deeper niche. Let's go. All right. Training was cool. Okay. Pages of notes. I love that. All right. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see if we got our names. Looks like we're still working on some names here. Hang tight with me. Still working on that. We need just another minute here before we pick some winners. Video did not freeze. I love it. Hope that you show me the goods. Oh, gosh. Okay, I need to improve my handwriting. 2 pages of notes, 3 pages. I see a few questions here. I will be taking questions here in just a minute as soon as we can get through the giveaways. I apologize for the delay here. We're about to pick a winner. Just hang tight with me for just a second here. I'm still waiting on the text from my team just to let me know that everything is complete. It looks like we got most everybody in there. Still waiting on a few people to come in. Guys, the giveaway entry is closed for today, but we still have 4 more days to get into that giveaway. Hang tight with me for just 1 second. All right, I got a done. Give me just a second here. And as we pop those into our wheel of names, this is always a lot of fun because we put them in a wheel of names and we do a big drawing out of the wheel of names. We are almost there. Hang tight with me for just a second. Apologize. Come on. Oh, yeah. Here's what we're looking at right now. We've got our wheel of names pulled up right here. We're about to pick a winner. We've got almost everybody in there. We're just waiting one more second to verify that we have our VIPs entered, because I want to make sure we have our VIPs in there. Again, I apologize. The trainings usually don't take quite this long. We're working through some kinks here on day one. So thank you guys for being patient with me as I just double check that we have all of the names with my team. Just double checking here. Still waiting on those. Hang tight, guys. Hang tight. Hey. Enjoyed the training. Can't wait for day 2. Well worth the money. I think I got so much knowledge because I'm not taking a course for right now. I didn't touch up. Awesome. Taking pictures on my phone. There you go. Yeah, take a picture of some of those slides. That's a great tip there. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, I see the VIPs. Let me pop those in there. All right. Okay, we do have VIPs. Let me just make sure those are double entered. All right. Okay. All right, so here's what we're working with, guys. All right, so we've got our VIPs down here at the bottom, and we've got double entries for those VIPs. And then we've got our regular entries right up here at the top. So we are ready to roll. All right, we're ready to pick a winner. Here we go. Yeah, we got a minor. That's all right. We're taking a little bit longer today, but let's pick our first winner. So this first winner is going to be for the Amazon Fire Stick 4K. Here we go. Let's spin the wheel. Who's it gonna be? Rashawn Barner. Congrats, Rashawn Barner. So Rashawn, we need you to just drop a comment real quick and say, I am Rashawn, so that we know you are here. We just need you to claim that prize. You've won an Amazon Fire Stick 4K. Remember, we have one more giveaway today for a custom t-shirt design that you can use in your store. Rashawn, you've won. We're so glad that you are, hopefully you're here. Thank you for joining today and entering the giveaway. Rashawn, just drop us a comment, and I'm just going to wait for verification from my team that we can locate Rashawn, and then we will pick our second winner of the day. Okay, Rashawn. There we go. I see you, Rashawn. I am Rashawn Barner. Hopefully that's Rashawn. Rashawn, so all you need to do to claim your prize, just shoot us a quick email over at support@shirtschool.com. Okay, shoot us a quick email, support@shirtschool.com. Let us know that you've won, and we will hook you up with that Amazon Fire Stick 4K. We'll get that ordered probably today or tomorrow at the latest, and we'll get that shipped out to you. All right, let's pick our second winner. Congratulations, Rashawn. We got one more winner today of the custom t-shirt design. Here we go. We're going to spin the wheel. Who's it going to be? Lauren Rivera. Lauren Rivera, you've won a custom t-shirt design from our designer. Congratulations. We're so glad. I didn't give Rashawn the air horn. Rashawn got the air horn. We got one more for Lauren. Oh, yeah. All right, Lauren, let me know that you are here. Just say, I am Lauren Rivera in the comments. Let us know you're here. And if you just shoot us a quick email over to support@shirtschool.com, we will get you hooked up with that custom t-shirt design. Thank you so much for joining today. All right, we're going to do some Q&A. Guys, if you need to go, you're welcome to drop off. If you'd like to ask me some questions, I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor for some Q&A. And we will do just a few minutes here of Q&A. Remember, we do have the VIP session coming up at 2 p.m. That's a smaller group, and so I can answer a lot of questions in that VIP Q&A session. But I do want to do a little bit of Q&A as much as I can here with you guys here in the main group. So if you want to go ahead and drop some questions there, I will do some Q&A here. Now, I'm mainly going to take questions related to today's content. I want to encourage you guys to stay just to stay in the moment, work on today's stuff, and don't move too fast because we're going to get through a lot this week. And if you do it with us, I think you'll get some clarity and you'll understand how to do each thing as we go through the week. All right, so I see some questions here. Question: how do you recommend I reposition my brand if I've built a store that's too broad? Great question there. So there's a couple options here. It's never too late to kind of change what you're doing. So a lot of times if you already have a brand, you might be able to just make some tweaks and narrow that down. So think about now, if you have a general store, if you have a general store that's super broad and you're wanting to niche it down, you're probably going to have to start a new store or just completely overhaul it. But if you have something that's already in a niche, but you just want to make it a little nichier, I would probably try to keep the name, keep some of the designs that fit, but you may remove some of the designs that don't fit. Change some of the pictures of the people that you're targeting on your website, some of your ideal customer. Just make some tweaks. That's kind of the best way I can really answer that right now. But I've seen a lot of people where they do it, they already have a niche, but they need to go a little bit deeper. So you can just tweak it. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Just making some tweaks to your brand and kind of getting it on track with what we've been teaching here. It should be pretty simple, but there might be some changes that need to be made. Okay, any legalities after making logo? Do I need to copyright, trademark? Same question for with the name, personal branding for the long haul. Now we are going to talk about a little bit more about what I recommend around copyright and trademark tomorrow. I believe it's on tomorrow's training. But here's generally what I recommend, and we're going to talk about this more tomorrow. I do not recommend like copyright or trademark or even really touching that until you have some sales. And the biggest thing to remember when you're starting out is that when you don't have any sales, nobody's going to steal your stuff. I know it sounds funny, but like people don't want to steal stuff that isn't already selling. Like it doesn't make any sense. So do I recommend that you copyright or trademark your logo or your designs? I don't recommend that right off the bat. You want some proof that your stuff is going to sell. You want to make sure you're going to stick with it for the long haul before you really start going down that road. So I wouldn't worry about that right now. I would continue to take action, continue to move forward. What you do want to do, guys, when you're doing this, one thing I didn't really mention on the training today that I do want you to do is make sure you do your research and make sure there's not any other businesses using the same name or in the same, like the same name and niche, right? Make sure that there's not other businesses that are exactly the same out there. Because a lot of times we have these great ideas and then there's like 5 businesses that are already exactly the same, the same name. So double check that your name is clear. If you find like a Instagram account that's like 2-3 years old, they haven't posted in like 2 or 3 years. I mean, you might want to, you can probably use that name, but you still might want to send them a message and see, make sure they're good with it. But you want to do some research on your name that it has not been taken. That's part of the reason we do the domain. We check the domain name to make sure that's available. Somebody says, should the logo be just art or have words? It should have the name of your business in the logo. That's what I recommend. It should not just be an icon. Like, I don't think it should. I think it should have your name in the logo. Okay. Have some text with it. It can either be just text or it can be text with like an icon. Somebody said, will the VIP sessions be recorded? Absolutely, yes. The VIP sessions will be recorded and they will also be in your members area after the challenge. So if you're a VIP with us, not only you get to attend those live, but then you'll get replay access to those this week and in the future. Those will be in your members area. My niche is teenage athletes. Do I market to their parents or the teenagers? Okay, so when I was talking about kids, teenagers are probably the worst ones. That's really the toughest one because, again, teenagers are not going to really have money, and if they do, they're probably not going to spend it on this kind of stuff. I mean, maybe, but that's a really hard one to market to because they're in between like having a job and their parents paying for everything. So it becomes really hard to market to them. So that's such a difficult question. Personally, I would just not pick that ideal customer. But if you have to, you're really just going to have to make a decision. It really depends on that age because if they're like 13 to 16, they're not going to have any money. Their parents are going to have the money. If they're above 16, they're probably still not going to have any money, but maybe. So it's a really hard one to go into, and I definitely don't recommend that. Should the logos be art or just font also? Answered that one already. Would this niche be too broad? Funny cooking shirts. It is pretty broad, but I think that funny cooking shirts, if you guys didn't hear that, somebody commented, I think it is pretty broad, but if you narrow down by your customer, I think that's where the opportunity is. Funny cooking shirts for blank. Who is the customer? Where are they located? What are they into? Okay, so think about that when you're thinking about that. I think funny cooking shirts is okay, but if you can go a little bit deeper with the who, that's where you'll have some success there. I have an idea and name for an athletic apparel line. Should I get that website trademarked? We just talked about that. Yeah. Where do you sell your t-shirts, on POD sites or your own site? Your own site is what I recommend. We'll talk about a lot of that this week. How do you pick an initial name that says what you sell, but you plan to expand someday? That's a good question. I mean, if you're going to expand someday, I would just broaden the name out. The name is not that important, guys. That's the thing is like the niche and who you're selling to is way more important than the logo or name. So the name, the name is not the most important thing. If you're like, man, I want to do something deep, but I want to expand later, I would just make that name a little bit more broad because the name is really not going to make or break your sales unless it's just completely unrelated to what you're selling. So like if you're going to do a doggy brand, let's say you're going to serve like German Shepherd owners that are located in Texas. It's like Texas German Shepherd owners. You might just make your brand like something more broad around dogs, right? Like dogapparel.com, which is probably already taken. But you might make that something more broad and then just start by making your t-shirts focused on just German Shepherd owners in Texas, right? So that's probably the way that I would do that. I will use Shopify. I love Shopify. We'll talk about Shopify later in this week. And